Hi, I'm Turk Strongman at the Ron Q Ramacharaka. Thank you for selecting this video on, tentatively here, just for now, called Endgame. Endgame for humanity, something like that. Okay, but before I continue, it bothers me that maybe you still haven't subscribed to this channel. I suggest that, for your own sake, you do. Right now, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell feature while you're at it. If by the end of this video you find that you like it, give it a thumb up. If you didn't like it, give it one anyway. And share the joy of the channel with others. Now, with those things having been humbly requested, let's move on. Endgame for humanity, something like that. Okay, look. Up till now, the main thrust of this channel has been in a general way, presenting facts or justified belief in this world of this world of consciousness hijacking and perception deception, number one, and number two, in fact, this should be number one, the other just backup, the first one just kind of like support for antidotes to those. They should be in first place because they also stand on their own right for your own personal evolvement in cooperation with universal will for all things to evolve constructively. Okay. The main antidote being our individual establishment of true selfhood. First, it's recognition, such a thing. Then it's realization, making it real. And then manifesting it outwardly through action. Okay. Mental action, verbal action, physical action. Your life. Okay. Now, we have to, now there's a time where we have to kind of direct this in a specific direction, yet I'm still going to continue with the main thing here, the original ongoing thing here. I'm going to continue, I'm going to upload, as I promised in my immediately prior video, introduction to William Walker Atkinson's, the Mastermind series of videos that I've already made years ago. I'm going to continue uploading those. I'm going to continue on with everything that's been going on here, but we're going to add something new. This has to do with consciousness hijacking and perception deception. As you see in the name of this video, turning points in human perception. All right, well, here's one that's happening. Didn't already happen. It's been happening for a little while, but it's in progress. We stand here with the Copernican Revolution. We started a movement. You remember the Copernican Revolution, the guy who said, hey, really, it's the sun, that we're going around, the sun. And, the rest of the solar system, kind of like, well, he said all the heavens go around the sun. Whereas you've all been thinking for so long that all the heavens revolve around us. But that's not the way it is. Okay. That guy, ever since then, we've had kind of like we started to move then from the pre-modern era to the modern era. And now we're making another shift into the post-modern era. That's been going on for some while. We are moving beyond modernism. That's been going on philosophically, artistically, kind of across the board, technologically. All right. And what is going to define that? Part of the movement from the modern era from the pre-modern era to the modern era with Copernican Revolution, and once his argument finally got accepted, once there became telescopic and mathematical evidence for his claim, he didn't provide that kind of evidence. His whole idea was based on religion. He was a sun worshiper. All right. Once that happened, we went from we came into this era where explanations of things are mathematical, and there became like a spiritual void before the mathematical explanations took over for all things, all natural things, all science, right? This language is math. Okay. And we all know that science is far better than religion. That science is God, right? No. Okay. All right. Well, before that, things were explained in terms of their purpose. Why did the sun and everything else go around the earth? It's because we were center stage. It revolved around us. It was like for us. It was all there for us. Why does the rain fall? To water our crops. And to form pools. When it comes to a rest, which it's trying to do, it comes down solid ground and it forms little pools. And then we can swim. It's for us to swim. Why does water seek its final resting place? Its resting place, its point of being still. That's so we can swim. And we can get a drink, bathe. Everything was for us. And God made us this way. God made it all that way. For us. Okay. Purpose. Well, now, with the Copernican revolution thing, no more purpose. It was like, it's either this or that. It's either for us or, well, it's math. And there's no in between. And one feels good and the other one, you don't feel anything. So, our purpose, that was, our purpose under God, as God created us, the purpose of everything. Well, that was our spiritual state. That was our sense of fulfillment, purpose, meaning. And now there was none. So there is a void. So now that we're moving into the postmodern era, that became the modern era. And we still hear echoes. What's the purpose of anything? Is there any meaning in life? Why do I do anything? What's the meaning of it all? Sometimes life just seems to have no damn purpose. We hear this. We might think it. We might have said it. We might mean it. I've had such experience. Even though I knew some deeper answers. Comebacks to that. Rebuttals. Counter-arguments. I still felt like that sometimes. Well, anyway. So what's our new mindset going to be with postmodernism? What's going to happen? Well, I think we might be moving into a direction here. Well, I know we are. A direction that needs to be addressed by us, concerned with our own personal sovereignty, the sovereignty of our will, the sovereignty of our I-ness, I, the true self, and those of us concerned with consciousness hijacking, and a perception deception, which perhaps at their worst would make it impossible for us to establish true selfhood at all, ever, and always be wide open to being controlled by lower astral entities and lower mental plane thought forms and influences and physical totalitarians, fascists, whatever. Some kind of New World Order bullshit. With New Age religion as its religious side. New World economics. New World Order politics. The three sides of the New World Order. Well, anyway. Something that's going on here about all of this is artificial intelligence advances and nanotechnology advances and the transhumanist potential of the human species right now just laying bare, no sense of real purpose, And the idea that artificial intelligence advances in the form of nanotechnology mixed up with human flesh and thought in astral atmospheres is going to somehow maybe even represent a spiritual progress, because we'll all feel as one, just like that Star Trek Next Generation Borg people things, if you're familiar with that, all part of a collective, all hooked up to the same mainframe in a sense, in which they had to plug into now and then, and otherwise they just, were able to think in synchronous, harmoniously with all the other members of the same collective, because they're all connected through nanotechnology and implants and, under the control of some software, some AI software somewhere. Spiritual advance. Well, that's just a fake notion of it. That's a very misdirected notion of such a thing, just because we would now all feel like one. Well, I'm sure that ants do too. There's nothing artificial about intelligence. Artificial intelligence, folks, is fake. And this promise, not just a looking forward to or some proposed good thing, but I mean promise. This has been promised by developers of such that within the next 10 years, humanity is in large going to be in this condition. And one of its selling points will be that this solves our differences. This brings us together as a species. This is spiritual progress. And why not buy into that lie? There's an emptiness ever since the Copernican revolution. No meaning, no purpose. We need to address this. Now, what's going to happen here on this channel from now on, this new thing, this additional direction, is we're going to address this. This channel is not just about informing you of the world, what's really going on at an esoteric level, or occult level, or behind the scenes level, mentally, astrally, physically, spiritually. It's about what to do about those things. Now, we don't advocate any kind of physical violence here. We address consciousness hijacking and perception deception with antidotes at their own level. At the level of those two things. That's what we're going to do about this additional thing here. And we see in other ways, this idea of transhumanism is just one thing. Artificial intelligence and nanotechnology going in this direction, they're just one thing here. There are a lot of things, and we could just call it Endgame for humanity. We're at that point. We must play this endgame very well. And the reason this has taken me several years to even get to, I've been thinking about this for several years now, is because I don't trust people very much. I don't trust you very much. I don't trust you to use such methods and thinking, information, techniques, methods of action, way of being that takes this, any of this, and puts it to destructive or self-centered use. Every time a group of people get a little bit of sense of control or power, what goes on? It runs south, doesn't it? Starts getting used for selfish ends. I'm taking my chances here. Now you stay tuned because there's a lot to get through and there's a lot to do. Did you like the video? Thumb up. Did you dislike it? Thumb up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Activate the notification bell feature if you haven't already. And share the joy of the channel with others. I'm Turk Strongman at Theron Q Ramacharaka. Thank you again for selecting this video on Human Endgame. Be well.